Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of Saturday Night Block Marathon Madness. So today we're going to discuss Season 10, Episode 30, Game Day Final Part, and then we're going to discuss Season 5, Episode 8, hashtag Savage5K. So let's start with Season 10, Episode 30. Which is Game Day Final Part. So this one starts out, this one's a Tuesday episode, so it starts out, he gets breakfast like usual, um, um, and then he goes to the Hartman bus, he gets to Hartman. Today is a preschool day, today he's Mr. Hunter, so, um, wait, wait, I, actually, no, hold on. Yeah, preschool's over at this point. Never mind. So today is this a general early childhood education day with Miss Higgins. Um, so they just chit chat a little bit, and then they have like a quick lesson and an activity, and in the middle they have their 15-minute break. And then after the break they come back and they finish their activity, and then we have another lesson that we do in our activity, and then we have been working now. We have this project, this end of the year project that we're doing. Now that we're not doing classroom stuff in the preschool, um, is we're supposed to build. We're building this box project, and what we're doing is making our own classroom out of cardboard. So, and we have to do the dimensions and we have to do like a shopping list and what items, and then we have to put them down, and we have to draw them out on paper. So we have to do a paper diagram of where we want, and we have to meet certain requirements like a snack area, and then centers, and then um, like storage and first aid, and what our classroom will look like, and we have to make it out of cardboard. And we can put decorations in it, and it has to be the right dimension. It's kind of it was a pain in the butt, and so you are making your own classroom, your own preschool classroom, if anything. Um, but so I think they started this probably a week ago, at this point. But now they are working hard on this project. This is their final project, for the year. It's kind of fun. But at this point, they're still drawing out the dimensions, I think. Um, so he finishes that, he turns that paper in. And I think that today he starts to build his classroom. So that's what we're doing today, or that's what they did this day at Early Childhood Education. And this is working on this project. And then the bell rings, and then he goes back to the high school. He has study hall, which we don't see because there's nothing interesting. Then he goes to lunch. So, um, and he chit chats with the brotherhood, and today is game day, so they do some games on their phone or iPad or something. I don't know, but most likely their phone. So they do some games and they enjoy their lunch. Today is Taco Tuesday, I guess. So they enjoy their lunch, and then after lunch they go to science with Mr. Mindock and the student teacher, Mr. Miller. They have a bell work, and then they have lesson, and they have an activity, and then he goes to Algebra 2 with Mr. Steven. Today they have a bell work lesson, and then they have an activity. Then they have time to work on their assignments, and then that's it. And then he goes to resource with Miss Oswald, and him and Miss Oswald work on the Algebra 2 assignment. They get it done. He does decent on it. Then he goes to U.S. History, Mr. Wild Image, which is wild at the beginning. And then they have like a bell work, and then they have a lesson, and then some type of assignment. I think they're working on this big paper, final paper. So that's what they work on. So that, and then the bell rings, he goes home, and that's it. So that was that episode. Now we're going to discuss season 5, episode 8, which is hashtag Savage 5K. This is during lockdown. Um, and today is a Tuesday as well, so it's just a day off from doing your earning. Remember, earning was Monday, Wednesday, Friday during the lockdown, and then Tuesday and Thursday was just a day off. Um, so yeah, so they start out. We see Hunter getting breakfast, and he does his little dance and he enjoys some music. And then Mom and Luke comes down. They chit chat and they talk, and then we talk about what we want to do today. And it's such a nice day. It's May. It's nice, and we want to do this. We want to walk some today. But yeah, so that's what they plan on doing. So they go to um Um, first they do some stuff outside on the deck. Luke and Hunter do some activities. Um, they watch some TikTok. They play some video games for game day. Inside Hunter's room, Hunter and Luke play some video game like Splatoon, I think, for a little bit just to get during the morning hours, and then in the afternoon we have lunch. So we get our lunch at home. We eat. We enjoy it. We chit chat. We do some more games for game day. And then we decide to go to this trail. So they head over, they get in the car, they head on over, and they go to this walkway. It's called Charter Creek Trail. So they go do, and they're going to do a 5K because Hunter, the school was still going on at this time. Usually have an annual 5K walk slash run that they do. That Hunter did like sixth grade year, I think seventh grade year, in middle school, fifth grade year, I think. And they were going to probably do it in eighth grade, but we were in the lockdown, so they canceled it. Um, but um. I don't think they did it in seventh grade, but they did it in fifth and sixth, I think. Um, but they couldn't do it in eighth, so they wanted to do their own 5K with Hunter, Luke, and Mom. So they start walking on the trail. That's their 5K. It's not really 5K. It's not a full length, but it's a pretty long trail. So they start walking. They chit chat. Um, they run a little bit. They walk, and then Um, they do they see nature, they enjoy nature. Then there's this deck that goes over this creek called Char Creek, which is a real creek, by the way. We sit down and just watch it and chit chat, and then we get back on our walk. Uh, so, and then we head into this. It's called Field of Dream. It's a baseball park. Um, and we walk through that because that's where the trail goes. And it goes to this playground type thing. We probably do some slides I believe, and then we sit down, to chit chat, and then we go back through. And it's a wooded trail, but when you get out, it goes out to the baseball, and then we go through the baseball back into the woods. We walk, we go back to that deck, and we go over a bridge, over the creek, and it's just such a nice day. It's just so fun, and then we finish walking. It's a long walk, and then it was very tiring. It always is on that trail. And then we get out of the woods and back to the parking lot of the trail, and we head home. And when we get back to the trail, we all go, yay, yay, we're done. We did our 5K, and that was good. Then we go back home and we just relax a little bit, do some more games for game day, and then Hunter just calls it a day, the evening. And he has a terrific Tuesday evening. And that is it for this episode of Sajon Bot Marathon Madness. I hope everyone has a terrific Tuesday evening. And may God bless and protect each and every one of you. And I'll see you Wednesday evening for another episode of Sajon Bot Marathon Madness. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of Sajon Bot Marathon Madness. So today we're going to discuss Season 10, Episode 29, Wonderful Wednesday, final part. So, today he gets breakfast, he gets to Hartman. Today is an English day, and he's there full time because he doesn't get to teach no more because the preschool year is done by now. So, because it's like late May. Um, so and we ended in early May, so and I already discussed that in a previous Marathon Madness. But he goes to English with Miss B. They have bell work, and then they go over to bell work, and then they have a lesson, and then they have their 15-minute break, and then I think this is the last day of English for the year, so that's kind of good too. So that's wonderful for this wonderful Wednesday. Huh? Um, so, um, which he's excited about that. But I think they have to do a test. So, but anyway, they have to do this test. I think. I think. Yeah, I think they do. But they had their break after the break, which we don't see because there's nothing interesting. Um, then they go back to class and they have this assignment that they do, like a review for the test, and then they get that done, and then they have their test, which they do an hour of, I believe, or so. So they work. So Hunter does his test, and it's decent. And then the last, they have a couple, like probably 45 minutes left of the day at Hartman. So they have like another activity that's fun for the end of the year, and then they made these Bitmoji things for a thing, and that they had on the wall, and for the last day they took them off, and she handed it to you, and I think gave everybody a gift, which was nice. I believe like a candy bar or something, I think, or and a pencil or something. I don't remember, um. But they just and then they had the last couple of minutes to just work on some other assignments or um, do some carving or something. So that's what Hunter decides to do. He decides to like do some carving pages or something, and then the bell rings and he's done with English for the fifth grade, which is yay. Um, yeah. Because he only had it every Wednesday. And then he goes back to the high school. We have study hall, which is boring. We don't see. And then we have lunch. Today is hamburger and French fry day, which is always delicious. He chit chats with the birdhead, and then then they eat their lunch, which they enjoy. And then we have science with Mr. Mindock and Mr. Miller. We have bedwork lesson activity. Um, and then we have algebra 2. Today is just a bell work, and then they just have like a lesson, and that's it. They don't have an assignment today. Then he goes to resource with Ms. Oswald. He does since he doesn't have algebra 2, I don't think. And near the end, we just kind of do not much. So he just watches some YouTube, does some TikTok, maybe does some games on his phone, whatnot. Maybe work on some other work that maybe he has, like some final papers or whatever. And then he goes to history with Mr. Wild and Wedge. They have bell work, and then they're working on this final paper. They actually get to go as a nice day, so they get to go outside, I think, and they get to work on this paper outside, which is really nice. And then they go back in, they pack up all their stuff. The bell rings. He goes home and has a wonderful Wednesday evening. But that's it for this episode of Saturday What Marathon Madness. I hope everyone has a wonderful Wednesday evening. And God bless and protect each and every one of you. And I'll see you Thursday evening for another episode of Sajon Bot Marathon Madness.